So today we're doing another podcast on our another MS things.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are.
And my friend Claudia here.
Hello.
Of Claire Jens. And today what I wanted to talk about was an issue that a lot of MS suffer, or some MS sufferers have. Actually, probably not a lot of this son.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about
a few.
A few. Yeah, pretty few. People using catheters. Now, the thing with catheters is that people, initially when I talked about using catheters, when I was told about it, I was horrified. Mm-hmm. And I think it had stigma attached to it entirely, and it shouldn't, but it does, because when you start using them in your MS journey, or on your MS journey, it makes life so much easier. And prior to using catheters, I had UTIs all the time. I had probably weekly, monthly UTIs.
Was that as soon as you first were diagnosed with MS?
No, that's a good point. Good point.
Yeah.
No,
When did they start?
I reckon the UTIs started. Actually, the UTIs probably started probably 4 years after I got diagnosed.
And why is that? Why do they start like around that time? Why is it so common for people with MS to have UTIs?
Good question. So for mine started because when you have MS, over time your urinary system goes from working perfectly fine, and then I don't quite change this, but your urinary system, you don't empty properly. You only empty partly, so it means that your bladder's always a bit full of urine, which means that the bugs can grow.
And does that have to do with the brain-body connection?
It must be. Yeah, majority, because I don't know why the urinary thing starts.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the opposite to begin with.
And if you're not emptying your bladder properly, then I can imagine, leaves room for infection.
Bacteria.
Form of
Definitely.
bacteria.
Yeah, so you have UTIs there's no reason at all to go new all the time.
Mm-hmm. And I also suffer from UTIs. I don't have MS, but it's something that Claire and I have connected over because I sadly struggled with them a lot since I was young. And it feels like, I believe, once you get them, once you get one, you're pretty susceptible from then on.
I think you are.
Yeah.
Reoccurring.
Yeah. And so, when I found out about, a lot of people with MS, working with Claire, found out that she struggled with UTIs originally, and then how so many people do. And then, I didn't know really anything about catheters. You hear about catheters, for those that don't know, used in a hospital or when you're sick or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I first started working with you, always have your stick in your pocket.
Always stick.
Yeah.
So I actually want to point out that there's, catheters wise, there's lots of different catheters.
Yeah.
And the ones that I would say love, it sounds way too.
No, but you do love them because they've changed your life.
But these actually, that's things that having catheters now in my life, this is over 10 years now.
Yeah.
Over 10 years. It's been, or if being someone who wouldn't leave the house, I couldn't leave the house. And if I did, I panicked all the time, rubbed my pants a lot, and had accents a lot, which is just so humiliating. And then I just wouldn't do things. I wouldn't go on buses.
Wow.
I wouldn't go for long walks. I like it walks anyway. But I just wouldn't do anything that was long term. I could take a half hour maybe, but anything over an hour I wouldn't do it. Like to go cinema was hard work.
Oh, of course.
All these things you can't do that last more than an hour. I'd be panicking about going to the bathroom.
So sorry to interrupt you, when you first heard about catheters or what was that experience? Who first told you, you should try catheters?
Yes, I remember my neuro back before I was going to travel to Australia for a holiday, and I was living in England, and she said to me, I think that you're going to go to Australia on a holiday, you should be able to use catheters because the flight, if you have urinary retention on the flight, it's dangerous. So one time I had urinary retention, I was in so much pain. I didn't know what had happened. My urine basically retention was chronic, and I ended up going to the hospital because I couldn't wee, obviously, and my bladder was 1.5 liters of wee inside me.
That's so dangerous.
Imagine that
happening. You would have been in so much pain.
And the kind of pain would have been dangerous.
Because of your MS, you couldn't physically wee.
You couldn't wee because your retention is like in tight.
You would have been terrified.
You're scared and you're frightened and it hurts. Whereas it's nasty. I went to the hospital, they put a catheter in and it worked.
So how did you first feel when she said you should use these self-catheters?
She said to me, Claire, it's not scary. It's not a big deal. I thought it was horrifying. The whole idea to me seemed so firstly painful and not easy. And in hindsight, trust me, it's not painful at all, and it's easy. And it's not a big deal at all. I think the whole fear I had, and it was kind of like a fear, it was actually quite.
It's based on stigma.
It was stigma, and I was embarrassed by it. I thought it looked so. This felt kind of wrong and all these things.
And it's something that we talk about a lot.
We do.
You know, we spent lots of time together, and we found that in the last few weeks we were talking, and we found that there's actually a lot of stigma around using catheters.
Yeah.
So much so because I guess people don't have awareness, like any sort of stigma.
Yeah.
And for me, being someone in your life that now I know all about them, and I'm always like, you got your E6, we're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pick them up, whatever, put them in your pocket, pack them, order them. It's something that it's nothing. It just makes.
It's not a big deal.
And I think the importance for you today was to get you guys want to get the awareness out
And to share that spread to dispel the myth.
Yes, because I think also there would probably be lots of people who were in a similar position, maybe scared to use them or think, oh no, like how is this going to change my life?
Yes.
Could it be painful? Whatever you may think.
No.
And you're here to pretty much
I think
educate.
it makes your life better.
Yeah. So
No doubt. So the one that I have, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the company I use is Coloplast.
Yes.
There are different types, I'm sure, out there, but
and is all claimable through NDIS?
Yes, you don't pay for them. And
In Australia anyway.
So I had two different tests. I'll just show you.
Yeah.
The big ones or bunker ones, and these are the ones I use like sort of day-to-day ones. Here, day-to-day ones like these. They're bigger ones.
Okay.
And then I use the ones I put in my pocket, which are more expensive, but you get it back on NDS.
Yeah.
These are little ones, like little tiny ones, like little tampons. So they're not tampons.
May I ask what's the difference between the two?
These are little ones that are called self-cuts. They're disposable, and you're meant to be one use only.
One use only. Oh, okay, yeah.
But the other ones are not meant to use them more than once.
Oh,
But these are
okay.
the one use only.
So you prefer these ones because they fit in your pocket?
They go in your pocket. It's like lipstick put in your pocket.
Yeah.
And you go off and go to the cinema or go in and go to a football game or something. Put in your pocket and you go in your bathroom ever.
Okay. And also, we go to the bathroom together a lot.
Yeah, we do.
We're always out for coffee, and you're so quick. Do you know what I mean?
Then it doesn't. As you get, obviously initially it takes a body, but pretty fast you get very okay.
Yeah, well, like I wouldn't know unless I knew you that you were using a catheter.
No one don't know because it says they go into bathrooms. There's no big deal at all.
So I think something to ask maybe for those that are curious or aren't educated on them, questions that I probably initially had. So first, does it hurt?
No, not even close to anything. It's like a tampon.
Okay, I like that. Yes, it's like a tampon, easy. All us ladies.
There's no big deal. Zero deal.
And okay, is it something that was it hard to use at first? Hard to
Not
figure
hard.
out?
You have to figure it out, but not hard. Just like you have to sort of figure out where it goes.
Okay.
Like girls, everything goes.
Well, there's not a lot of education, you
No.
know. It's getting better nowadays, but around like any of our reproductive organs as
Oh, yeah.
women. So you think like you have tell us the story of like when you first were like, I don't even know what hole it goes in.
I didn't know what whole. I was very uneducated on how women's bits and bobs worked.
Like probably most people as well,
I
you
think
know.
the English of the Australian education system didn't teach those things then.
No, so you thought, I'm listening in, where do I go?
Yeah, where to go? But now I know. I've learned over time that it's 3 holes.
Yeah.
Not 1, not 2, there's 3.
And so I think something that you've said as well, like, because the wee sticks are always around, and you think that people might look at them and think they're dirty.
No,
And so, explain how this guy works.
disposable, so you only use it once.
Yeah.
I won't show you exactly how it works. But
No.
you can imagine.
But you can really imagine.
But you just like, you put it in like a tampon.
Yeah.
It'll be your wee and do it in the bin.
Oh,
Done.
so easy.
And nothing's dirty, nothing's gross. And also, by the way, just so you don't know, I know this. Urine itself is actually not bacterial at all. It's quite it's
quite clean.
It's clean. So urine is not dirty when poos are dirty. Poos are different.
Yeah.
But wee
two's a different story.
Poo's different. But wee is not dirty at all. So people are grossed out by it just being really mean.
Yeah.
So
And just not knowing.
No, it's just uneducated.
Yeah.
So in her ways.
So tell us more, yeah. So pretty much,
That's it's quite simple, and it's the big ones and the little ones.
so if you're just at home, do you use the big ones more?
Yes.
Okay.
There's big ones at home because they're reusable.
Yeah.
And I think I probably use them too long, but you can. Like, that's not
Yes.
lazy.
Yes,
that's not so dirty.
Because this is over 10 years of using them. Okay.
I've used them, and also initially when I first started using it, there was no NDRS there.
And they are
They're
expensive,
they're
we
not
will
cheap.
say. Yeah.
They should be, to me, in my belief, they should be free.
Yeah. We think so
Hospitals
too.
hand
You need them.
No one wants to use it.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but don't want to use it. But it should be just handed out and the canvas are free. Because no one won't do it by
Seriously?
Yeah, it should be free, but they're not.
Can I ask, have you met anyone along your way that uses catheters?
No one.
Really?
It's the thing with the MS is that I have lots of friends with MS and no one uses it.
That's
But I
crazy.
think MS in terms of getting worse is that I say now I have to use them. But I think that when you're first time even using ball.
Yeah. And we had this conversation a while ago on the podcast where like around the language that you know, you and us and as people can use around being in a wheelchair, and how, you know, the initial thought if you're not in a chair is to potentially think, oh, you know, oh, thank God I'm not in a chair, I'm not using a chair. And then we had some beautiful people who listen to the podcast reach out and say, you should watch your language, with kindness, of course, but you should watch your language around wheelchairs, because it's not something to be feared.
No.
It's actually liberated me and made me so much more able.
And this is liberating.
And
these are liberating.
Yeah.
These make you feel things like I never got back in England. I never got buses there ever. So that times because I'm too scared on a bus I would be able to breathe.
It's crazy.
But in hindsight, if I'd had years before that, I would have get buses. I would have used the tube and the buses okay. And so nothing scares me now.
Isn't it interesting just the way that, you know, as people, we perceive things that we don't know about. And yeah, it was really beautiful hearing that comment from that listener about, you know, because now you look at wheelchairs differently.
You might do.
Yeah.
They think MS is, well, no, but how many years?
Yeah.
Like,
30?
30 years? I forget. Since 1999.
Yeah.
So that's
27.
Yeah, 27. So it's coming up half my life, which is a big thing. But I think that when you've had it for a long time, you sort of get used to things.
Yeah.
But things do get worse as we
Of
get older.
course.
Just kind of,
And just finding, like, I can imagine the things that, give you that little bit of freedom and that liberation.
yeah,
And
definitely.
this is something that's been for you.
So I just think that I think the myth of the catheters is to be dispelled.
Yeah.
Because it's not real myth.
And if anyone who's listening wants to reach out to Claire and has any questions, of course, go to your GP and talk about it. But we had someone who we've had on, Sarah, who we had on the podcast, you know, a few months ago. She did a post about UTIs and things like that, and we reached out and informed her about the catheters, and
and these will just use these UTIs will just go away.
Yeah, yes, that's also what I wanted to say. So, so you were getting UTIs how often?
Oh, monthly.
Crazy.
I literally had UTIs or rest. I had.
Were you on antibiotics?
I was on antibiotics all the time.
No, again, I can imagine with all your other medicine that you're on.
Yeah, it's not good. I was on Presocort, and I used them. Different ones I had. But originally they worked, but then I didn't like the green one. The green one was nasty. That's something.
So when you started using these, did you get a UTI after?
Never. I've been on this now 10 years. No UTIs at all. Ever.
That's not a UTI is not something you would miss.
No, they was out.
No.
They're very grateful never ever again.
Wow.
They were scary. They were painful. And it's not nice.
It's awesome that there's things in place that can just give you that little bit more freedom with having MS.
And I think that it makes life a bit easier.
Yeah.
This makes our lives much more bearable.
Yeah.
This is the word.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's good.
Anything else we want to chat about?
I think that's do the waiting stage.
Yeah, I think that was awesome. We just wanted to pretty much jump on, do a quick little episode.
Yes.
This was something that the spirit moved you on this one.
Yeah, I thought that the myths must be dispelled.
Yeah, and I think it'll be really informative and resonate with some of our listeners.
Hope so.
And we're doing a few more episodes upcoming at the moment.
Yes.
So we've been busy with things and life.
Other things, life carries on.
Moving back and forth.
Yes.
But it's looking forward to hearing from you guys. If you have any questions about the catheters, reach out. Also, if anyone is interested, feels like they've got a story to share, which I'm sure everyone does.
For tips, MS tips.
Yeah, reach out and we could contact you and hopefully have you on the podcast. Thanks for that one, Claire. Thanks. Maybe actually as well, I'll take the boxes and we'll take them up to camera.
Yes.
Yes, this is the response I had about we have, I don't know if that's in focus, but the cold blast here.
In cold blast plug.
Life changing.
Yes, it is. Thanks, Owen.
All right, thanks guys.